I think we got to get into it. Like one of the main reasons we wanted to have you on was to talk about this gruesome injury you've came back from, Kels. Like it was heartbreaking to see you go down because you were having such a good season and it happened towards the end, and then you're like, oh God, like is this guy ever going to be the same? And then you broke your femur is what happened, but obviously with your dedication to your craft and your persistence, you ended up having your best year ever, career highs. I think you finished with the most points of any Coyote player of all time, passing Keith Kachuk. Like, take us through the entire experience, man, because I'm sure it was hell for a little bit, but you came out from the other side, man.
Yeah. Where do you want me to start?
Well,
When it fucking
do you remember
happened.
the play? Like, what happened on that? I mean, obviously people have seen it, but
Uh,
what kind of break it down, I guess.
yeah, so I got the puck in our zone. We kind of had like a 3-on-2, and I was probably going as fast as I've ever skated, at least from what I remember. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to take this guy wide and take it to the net and score. And um, I remember protecting it on my forehand a little bit, and the puck kind of bounced, and I kind of like caught a piece in the ice, and the guy was kind of like reaching on me too, and there was nothing I could do. I was going so fast, I couldn't stop myself. Usually, if you fall or something, you can kind of turn and slide into the boards, and so yeah, it was just kind of one of those weird plays. And I did like a speed wobble on the ice, and there was just nothing I could do. And then the next thing I remember was laying down and trying to move, and I couldn't, and
Oh,
I was trying to just
Jesus.
get up with my one leg, and I couldn't roll over or anything. And the next thing I know, our trainers were out there and they had the stretcher coming out, and yeah, that was pretty rough.
So
Was
like
it
okay.
excruciating pain? Like at that point, like are you like in like horrific pain, or is it more just like the shock of what happened?
It was shock for probably the first couple minutes. Like I remember Schmaltzy and Ghost came over and they were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." Ghost says it to me. He's like, the thing you said to me was like, "Yeah, grab my mouth guard." I guess I said that to Ghost like right when it happened, and then yeah, like I was kind of in shock, and then like I don't know, like a couple minutes later, it kind of like sat in, and that's when I kind of started to feel the pain. But
Okay.
it was weird. I was like moving my ankle, and like my knee felt okay, and then like all of a sudden like I just had like the tightest pain like you could ever imagine,
Oh,
from like my knee up, like right in my like quad. Like it was like the tightest squeezing like thing you could
Yeah,
ever
because
could
of the
ever think of.
compression, because of the blood rushing there, right?
Yeah, like it was pretty rough. Yeah.
Did like right away when you got there, did they have to open it up to kind of relieve that pressure? Because sometimes when you see guys who suffer those femur injuries, they have like a big massive scar.
Yeah, so they like stretched me back, and they started to take my gear off, and then they did like x-ray or whatever in the back, and they're like, yeah, it's femur, and the x-ray was pretty rough. And I think what they said was they had to like get my leg like in traction so it like doesn't get worse, or like from like just like rolling out in the car or in the ambulance. So that was pretty painful, just because you would basically like lifting my leg and like getting it in a certain position. So that was pretty rough. Yeah, and then went to the ambulance, and obviously I was a little out there, but like every single bump or anything on the road like just killed me. Like I remember sitting in the ambulance with my mom, and I was just like, oh my god, like just want to be there already. And it was basically straight into surgery. But that whole time
Wow.
from like the ambulance to like the actual surgery, like I was in pretty good amount of pain like the whole entire time.
were you thinking? And maybe this was kind of after you woke up from surgery, but was there a time when you really kind of worried about your career and like, am I gonna like? Were you asking the doctors like, am I gonna be able to play again and stuff like that, or was it more right away you were kind of positive like, I'm gonna get back, I'm gonna be fine?
Yeah, it was one of our doctors was in there when they gave me the X-ray, and he saw it, and then I said to him, I was like, will I be able to play again? And he's like, yeah, you're gonna be good. And he's like, you broke your femur, but you're gonna be all right. And then ever since I heard that, I was like, all right,
Yes.
like I'm good. Like, you know, this happened, but there's better days ahead. And it's just right into the rehab process after that.
What's that like? I mean, from surgery to like right away, are they having you try to move it just because you talked about the traction earlier? Do they probably want it moving right away, right?
Yeah, so there's no cast or anything. It was just my leg, and I think it was either the second or the third day. They were like, all right, we're gonna like stand you up, and obviously I had like the walker and like so you can like weight bear it like right away. So I tried that like I think the second or third day, and I was actually like walking a little bit and getting somewhere. And then it was right back into the hospital bed. But yeah, those first I don't know month or two were pretty rough. Where my mom was living with me, and I couldn't do anything on my own, clothes, anything. I needed help to stand up or do anything like that. So I was basically just laying in bed for a while and doing some rehab stuff like early on too, just like raising my leg and stuff that was pretty painful and tough to go through.
So there's a steel rod in there?
Yeah.
Does that ever come out, or does it stay there forever?
No, it stays there forever, and they actually said like it'll be stronger than my other one. So yeah, I have no issues with it today. I can't even tell that I have it in there.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask, Clayton. After you healed, did you feel stronger? Like you might have even been better than before you broke your leg there?
Yeah, maybe not right away, but like now I definitely do. Like I feel so much better, but it definitely did take a while. Just the weirdest thing for me was like the walking part. Like it just took me like I don't know. I think it was like my mom said like 4 months until I was walking like basically without a limp. Like I was skating around the same time, but like obviously the skating was somehow better than my walk. So it was just kind of annoying. Like I always said, I'd wake up every morning and be like, all right, like I'm not gonna limp today, and then it would just like keep on happening. And so that was a little annoying, but eventually it slowly just went away.
So they did a really cool thing because you were up for the Masterton at the NHL Awards this year, and it was Dr. John Tokish. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
And they did a really cool feature on each of the doctors who helped out each individual who were up for the award. Was it him who recommended the Pilates? Because I read that the Pilates is what really helped you get back as well.
Yeah. No, it wasn't him. It was kind of everyone that kind of helps me or treats me. And it was a guy, Mark Lindsay was someone who helped out early on. And
he's a legend in that stuff.
He set me up with this girl, Lisa in Toronto. And we kind of did Zooms, 3 times a week, like the whole entire summer, just slow and hard, hard to do. And I think that helped me like tremendously.
What Pilates? So you're on that reformer machine, so you had to buy one of those and get it sent to your house?
It actually wasn't on the reformer at all. It was more like just like body weight. Like I had like the Zoom set up like in my gym, and would just like tilt the camera, and then just everything would be on the mat or like standing up. It's like I don't know. She always says it's not like Pilates on the reformer. It's a little different.
It sounds like Pilates not on a reformer is yoga.
No, you're probably holding your leg out and like working all those little muscles, right?
Yeah, it's
more
like
so than
hard
stretching
stuff to like even explain. Like just
can you demonstrate for us? Can you demonstrate for us?
Kels,
we're on a Zoom right now.
When we first brought up yoga on this show, RA's response was, isn't there a wicked lot of farting in there? That's what he thought yoga was. People just dropping bombs.
Just farting in each other's faces, giving each other pink eye.
No. But it's like just like a lot of core. And it was just like normal stuff, like just strengthening my leg, like, on some lunges, stuff on like, a thing on the ground that kind of like slides, like one of those slider things, like a lot of stuff with that. And also like the team, I was doing stuff with them, and I was doing stuff with her on Zoom, and also doing stuff, at night to, kind of like stretch and recover, I guess.